Hello everybody, Profound Games here, and today this will be the first of two videos talking about my general thoughts and views on the just this past WWE Wrestlemania Premium Live event. First of all, this will this video will be about specifically night one and my thoughts on all the matches and all that about night one, Saturday, I believe April 6th. Saturday, April 6th was night one. Um, Night one started out with a championship match for the Women's World Championship between Rhea Ripley, who is the Women's World Champion, versus Becky Lynch, with Rhea Ripley defeating Becky and retaining her championship. Spoiler alert, this is my favorite match of night one. I thought this opener was incredible. I think it's a fantastic match. I'm not a huge Becky Lynch fan by any stretch, but I'll even admit she can put on a very, very solid match when she wants to. And Becky Lynch puts on a great show, as does Rhea. Rhea puts on a very good show. She's one of my favorites in the entirety of the women's division currently. Um yeah, and I really like the entrances that both women had. Very, very cool entrances too. Next, after that, after the opener, we have the six-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. Um, between the six-pack ladder match was six teams of two in a ladder match for both tag team titles separately. The SmackDown and the Raw tag team titles had to be um retrieved separately by different teams, or one team could pick up both, but that didn't happen. We got A Town Down Under, which is Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, won the SmackDown tag team titles, and then the Awesome Truth, which is The Miz and R-Truth, getting the Raw tag team titles. Um R-Truth getting his first ever WrestleMania victory was a fantastic moment in this match. It was great, and I was really surprised to see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller win the SmackDown tag team titles in this ladder match. Um, and I also really like the spot where R-Truth thought that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa uh were Shawn Michaels and Triple H respectively, because R-Truth's whole character is that he's delusional. So he thought that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were actually the two members of DX when they're not. Thought that was a pretty cool moment. That was pretty funny. Um, the New Day had their moments. New Catch Republic had a couple of cool spots. That was a very solid match too. I enjoyed that one a lot. Um, and then after that, we get to Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio in a tag team match. If this match just feels like it was missing something, really. It just feels like it needed to go like 5 more minutes. I mean, there's not a single bad match on this entire card. Nights one and two combined, there are no bad matches anywhere on either card. but there are just some matches that are kind of, in my opinion, they're really iffy and just not all that great. This one included um, Rey Mysterio and Andrade won, which I'm like, okay. I think it would have been. I think there would have been a more interesting story to tell with if they would have had Dominic Mysterio pin his dad, Rey Mysterio. I think that would have been a very that would have been great for him, great for Dominic. Turn him into an even bigger heel than he already is. Heel is a bad guy, face is a good guy. So that's the heel face dynamic. Um, that match was just kind of okay. Felt like it needed a lot more, a little bit more time to actually develop into something. And then next, after that tag team match, we've got brother versus brother, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Jey defeated Jimmy, which I thought was an okay result, but the match itself, I was amped for this match going into it, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I thought it was going to be a lot better, but then it just kind of ended up being super kick after super kick after super kick after super kick, and then there was a really cool moment in the middle of the match where Jimmy Uso tricks his brother Jay into thinking that Jimmy is begging Jay for forgiveness, but then he ends up just like betraying him anyway. That was really the only like actually really good moment in the match. Other than that, it was just kind of whatever. It felt like a super nothing match when it should have been so much more. And I also feel like Jimmy Uso winning may have been a better option because if Jimmy did win, there probably could have been a rematch where Jay wins and gets his win back, but that just didn't happen. And then next, after Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, we have a 6-woman tag match between the team of Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, in which Jade, Bianca, and Naomi won. In my opinion, this is the worst match on the card. It's just, it didn't really do anything for me because this match had no story going into it, really. I think it was literally just to have Jade Cargill have her moment at Mania, at WrestleMania, so I have nothing really to say about the 6-woman tag match, so I'm just not going to say anything about it. And then after that, Sami Zayn defeating Gunther for Gunther's Intercontinental title and ending Gunther's Intercontinental title reign, which he had the longest IC title reign of all time. And Sami Zayn ending that, I think, was a solid moment, although I do kind of wish Gunther. I will admit, going into it, I was hoping Gunther was going to retain. I wanted him to, but it is what it is. Sami Zayn winning is very good. It feels like a very similar match structure to uh Sami Zayn's match against Roman Reigns last year at Elimination Chamber 2023, in which Sami lost. What I mean by that is Sami going in as the underdog in the match and him losing last time, but this time, a little over a year later, coming in as the underdog again, but winning this time around. That's what it feels like to me. Really good match, by the way. Very good villainous heel character work by Gunther. Because Sami Zayn's wife and kid, or I don't know about kid, but definitely Sami's wife is in the crowd, and Gunther is just talking shit about Sami directly to her face while he's after he gets done beating his ass, he walks over, kind of talks shit a little bit, and then goes back to beating Sami's ass. But Sami ends up winning anyhow, which I think is a solid moment. And then next, the main event, the main event, which was the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman defeating the tag team of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins by pinfall. And the ending of this match would dictate the stipulation of the main event of night two, in which, since The Rock and Roman Reigns won the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match on night two, was held under Bloodline rules. If Rhodes and Rollins won, all members of the Bloodline would have been barred from ringside during that match. The Bloodline is Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and The Rock, and also Paul Heyman, but he doesn't really. He obviously doesn't do anything in the match. Obviously, he's just kind of there as a manager type character. But this match, this match is, as far as I know, the second longest match in WrestleMania history at 44 minutes and 35 seconds. I think the longest one might have been the first ever Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, where Shawn Michaels finally won a world title for the first time. I think that Iron Man match is the longest WrestleMania match of all time, being an hour long. The Iron Man match was an hour long, and it went into overtime and lasted an extra 5 minutes of overtime, I think, with not Rollins, Shawn Michaels winning his first ever world title. But anyhow, the Bloodline, but specifically The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. After that match is very good, by the way. The tag team match between Bloodline and Cody Rhodes and Rollins, that match is very good. Although Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins losing kind of made me concerned about how they were gonna, if they were going to have Cody Rhodes win the world title match the next night on WrestleMania 40 Sunday. How were they going to book that? How were they going to book him winning, since the match would be held under Bloodline rules, in which all members of the Bloodline could interfere as much as they wanted to. But this match is very good. This tag team match, I think it's very entertaining, with The Rock at one point, because he is on the board of directors at TKO, the company that owns both UFC and WWE. Since he is on the board of directors in TKO, he at a point threatened the referee that if he either counted them out, if the match ended by count out, or if the referee disqualified The Rock and Roman, that The Rock would fire him. And so basically, it kind of turned into almost an Extreme Rules tag team match, almost, to a degree. Although there were no weapons brought out, as far as I can remember, except for, I think, The Rock hit hit Cody with a weight belt at one point. I think that's the only weapon that was used. But anyhow, The Rock pins Cody and wins it for the Bloodline. So yeah, very very fun, very enjoyable match, and multiple low blows as well, right in front of the referee's eyes, because The Rock said he was gonna fire the ref if he did anything about it. So, but it was just a very fun, enjoyable match to watch. But anyhow, overall, the first night one of WrestleMania 40, I would personally give a 7. I think a 7.5. I'll go 7.5 for night one. The best matches were Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship, the six-pack ladder match for the two tag team titles separately, Sami Zayn versus Gunther, and then the main event, which was the final match of night one, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Those are the three matches that are 1, 2, 3, 4, the four best matches, and then the other three matches on the card are just kind of whatever. But overall, 7.5 for night one. So yeah, that is going to do it for my review of night one of Mania Saturday. So, and soon I will be uploading the review of night two soon whenever I get around to it. But yeah, overall, very, very solid show night one was. Um, Again, 7 out of 10. Or no, 7.5 out of 10. There we go. So yeah, I will see you next time when I decide to review night two, night Sunday of WrestleMania 40. So yeah, see you then. All right.